Hello, this is Team Craze, and without any more preamble, let's just get into the video. Tempo is the idea of capitalizing on your momentum. It's much more easier to explain compared to timing because it really is just the speed of which you make your decisions. You know, say like doing a rush compared to doing a default, where in the default you want to be kind of taking it slow, gathering information, all this and that. With the rush, you just go, go, go. And if you run into opposition, you try and kill them and you try and run them over. It's a fairly simple concept to explain, but one that I can't really explain more in depth without explaining timing in the second half of this, because these two really intertwine together and you really can't have one without the other. Timing is what I would like to describe as a game state specific window of opportunity that you're always trying to hit as you play the game. It's heavily reliant on what information you have, where you're positioned, where your teammates are positioned. Like, it's a very information dependent concept, but one that reaps you great benefits by at least understanding it a little bit more than just, hey, there's like a really big wide opening here, let's go for it. So to kind of give an example of how timing works out using some pre-existing footage from myself here. So in the video Maximum Stress on my YouTube channel that you can watch in its full entirety if you want, but you don't really have to, because I'm only using this as an example for kind of explaining what timing and tempo is here. So earlier into the round, I had been kind of fishing for information, trying to figure out where everybody is and looking at my minimap. And so coming into around 8:35, as I get into the central pillar here in Space Lab, I've seen the Celestia in B, and I've seen two other people in the connector, while also realizing that two of my teammates have gone B and are kind of creating a distraction. So knowing realistically that at best one person is at A, and that my own Celestia and Konami are still with me here, I make the quick decision here to rotate over and take A main as fast as possible. And it's also very helpful too that I had my knife here and my smoke remaining still, so I can just smoke this off and throw the knife if I wanted to. But again, because I know that currently at this moment, most of the enemy team is rotating over to B because they think it's a B rush, I make quick use of this opportunity here to quickly rotate into A and just start to play for the post plant. And this is what I mean about timing being a very context and information heavy concept, is because I wouldn't have been able to make use of this opportunity and not been paying attention to where the enemy is and where my teammates are in relation. And just using the kind of chaos that my Ming and Fragrance had created to easily storm A site and just kind of play post from there. And that's just kind of really what it is, I suppose. Like I said, tempo and timing go together, and it's really easy for me to kind of go like, hey, this is all the stuff you can do for timing, but not so much for tempo, because that just kind of dictates how fast you go, right? Like, if you have this big timing window, but you're not, you know, like being fast about it, then yeah, of course it's gonna fail because, you know, you didn't act fast enough and they just rotated back over, right? So while it is kind of a cop-out answer to be like, hey, you kind of have to figure this out by yourself by recognizing general like ranked behavioral patterns and, like, you know, kind of like mind gaming the enemy team. In reality, that is kind of what it is. There is no clear-cut answer for figuring out what timing or tempo is. It's all just kind of based on your own past experiences and adjusting accordingly to anything new that happens. I'm sorry if you kind of came into this video expecting some sort of like really detailed answer and like really like revelational secret, but I've tried scripting this video so many times and I've just kind of realized that I can't make a super in-depth video about what timing and tempo is. Because timing and tempo is just vibes. It really is just vibes, and you kind of need to figure out for yourself what the correct answer is to what you're feeling in the given situation. Are you going to be wrong a lot of the time? Yeah, I'm also wrong a lot of the time. You know, like, but you just need to build the habit as you play, trying to be mindful about the game state, because the more you're aware of the game state, the more timing and tempo opportunities will introduce themselves to you. What I can say at the very least for a kind of cheat code on defense to help you to help ease you into understanding tempo and timing better is what I like to call the 5-second rule. It's kind of applicable to other competitive games as well, mostly tac shooters, but I'm not gonna like sign off on saying like, oh, this is like the universal answer to everything. There is no universal answer to anything at all, and I can't in good faith as a like amateur coach be like, yeah, like just do this. Contrary to what like other coaches might be thinking. So, what is the 5-second rule even, right? The 5-second rule is very simple actually. Just from barrier drop, if you don't see anything right away, just take a note of the timer at the top, and as it slowly counts down, like, I don't know how else to describe it, but like just wait 5 seconds, see if the enemy team is actually pushing your site, and if they're not, just rotate. You can even rotate earlier if you don't see them within that 5 seconds. Because more often than not, it actually doesn't take that much time for attackers to be doing what they want to do unless they're like heavily mind gaming you and defaulting. But in most ranks, like unless you're literally singularity or superstring, or sometimes masters, like they're not going to be mind gaming you and defaulting into oblivion. Most ranks will just be kind of deciding, hey, let's rush like A site, B site, C site. And honestly, I think that's the better way to play Strinova, but you know what? I'm not a top player, so don't really take my words as gospel, because in some of your eyes, I am kind of a fraud because I'm not a top player and I'm attempting to coach people to be better than me. That is what it is. And that's just kind of the video, right? Try and implement the 5-second rule to yourself, and let me know how it goes down in the comments. I can't guarantee that it'll work every single time, because again, if they default into oblivion, like just play slowly and fish for information, then yeah, the 5-second rule isn't going to work. But in most of your scenarios, the people who are watching, it should help you meet the attackers at their attacking location before they even get there. And so that's everything. Let me know what else you'd like to see from me in the comments below, like different coaching topics and stuff. And yeah, I'll just see you guys later. I'm just really glad I got this off my chest, because I'd been struggling to make this video for such a long time, but when in reality, I just kind of need to ramble. Like, I don't do well with scripts, and I don't think I'll ever really be doing like proper scripted content because it just kind of constricts my thought process a lot. So yeah, see you all in the next one.